today, let me tell you about a drama which was conducted on 24th Feb 2023, and the drama name was The Ant and the Grasshopper. So I practiced someone else's dialogues and I got a smiley in exchange because the smiley was for hard work plus smart work. So I got the smiley in return, and the day was on 27th Feb 2023. All the other children were saying, "That's unfair, that's unfair, that's unfair, that's unfair." They were saying like that because they were thinking they were also there in the drama. So in the drama, let me talk about the main part. So when I came in the class, I started to check all the dialogues and saw if my dialogues were there. I was one of the grasshoppers, and on the day of the drama, one grasshopper was absent and I had to take place. So I took a paper, the drama paper, and started searching all my dialogues. Even though I did not have a drama paper, I still practiced the dialogues on my own and earned that smiley. And so max number of people were wearing black color, and a minimum number of people were wearing green color. So I looked like a perfect grasshopper, and my headgear was the longest of all. So let me tell you what else happened in my drama. The drama practice was going on in the class, and there was a strip that was in the sellotape for the ants to stand. So here was the drama that there was a practice going on of the drama, and they were thinking that they should learn all their dialogues, even though let me tell you the story in the drama. So let me tell you the scene-wise drama. So in scene 1, the ants were so scene 1, the ants were locating for winter. Okay, so for the winter, even though I heard something like there were 15,000 ants, there were 15,000 of us. That was a dialogue in scene 1. Well, I'm thinking there are really around 15,000 ants on the earth. So let me tell you how come there are 15,000 ants on the earth. And also there was a dialogue which was called, there was an ant which was saying that if they don't have any music, they could even make music from banging their tummies. That was the dialogue I heard. And even though in the drama there were also guards. Okay, so the guards, there were guards in the drama. Even though there were no guards in the actual story of the ant and the grasshopper, but to make the drama more super hit, they added guards for the remaining people. Even though I'm as tall as a grasshopper in that drama, because my character was kept as grasshopper because I'm as tall as the grasshopper in the story. I don't know how tall is the grasshopper, just like my weight or something, my height or something I meant to say. So there was so in that drama of the scene 1, I was thinking that there was guards in that. Okay, so the guards, they had to bring a stick in the drama. So the guards were moving here and there. So I was hearing there was a dialogue. Quickly, quickly, must not stand. That was a drama. That was a dialogue that I heard. Even though there were some difficult words that I didn't hear. And after that, let me tell you the scene 2 of the drama. That was, even though the drama included me, and I had to hide in some corner. So in the drama, there was a title song in that drama which was called Run, 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 It Isn't Much Fun. Carting food in the blazing sun. Store it away in the nest. When winter comes, we will rest. Okay, so all the ants had to repeat this in 2 times after an ant says that, come on, stop playing, or else you have to starve next winter. And then a little ant says that, oh, can't we just play a little longer? Well, this was the thing that was going to happen. Okay, so the ants had to run in a circle. Okay, so the ants were running, and the grasshopper was playing. So the ants were running in a circle, and after that, when they said it once, my entry came, and one of my dialogues were, "Hello everyone, stop working, come and play." And there was one ending dialogue too, which was called, "Hustle, bustle, don't delay, have to work, no time for play." Okay, so this was how scene 2 had happened. And in scene 3, there was just one grasshopper. And one grasshopper was there. And as for the drama, they needed 2 grasshoppers. Well, actually, one grasshopper was absent. This is why we had to say 2 grasshoppers. 2 grasshoppers, even though I didn't even go once in scene 3, because my name didn't even appear in scene 3. So, one of the dialogues, now both of the grasshoppers had to say together in the drama. So, what I was saying was both of the grasshoppers had to say in that drama, even though I know some of the dialogues from that. Why not? The 2 grasshoppers had to say together. I didn't know how many ants were there. So I just remembered the grasshoppers' dialogues, which were, "And you old ones don't know how to have fun. You're just an old antique." This was the funniest dialogue I remember. So this was the dialogue that looked funny to me. And at the end of the drama, both the grasshoppers had to search the ground in vain, because it was just, they had to search the ground in pain. They didn't even had to find some food. And this was the end of scene 3. Now it's time for the last scene, which is scene 4. So, because in that scene 4 drama, that was one of the scenes that my number came first, that my dialogue came first. I had to put my hand in my tummy and say, "If only we could find a crumb." Well, I said it as if I was shivering. Yeah, as if I was shivering, I said that dialogue. As if in that drama, I had no food. So, Grasshoppers was lazy at that drama. And then after that, there was also one dialogue. Just one to ease the pain. This was someone else's dialogue, and for that I earned the smiley. And also I was thinking, oh, that was the only scene that where there were max number of ants. There were 9 ants in that, or even 8 or 9 ants in that scene. So in that scene, let me tell you, in that, if just one to ease the pain, and there was both the dialogues that I had to say. Please let us in. We are hungry and cold. That was and it feels like the grasshoppers do not have a home of themselves. This is why they had to do that. So this was my dialogue and both the grasshoppers dialogue. There were 2 grasshoppers in that drama. It was both the grasshoppers dialogue. And even though there was a song which was a title song which was Look at You Now, because that song was sung as Look at you now, hungry and cold, begging for food at our door. We won't give you anything. Go away, because that was like that. And in my way, what I sing is like rap. Do you feel like it? Look at you now, hungry and cold, begging for food at our door. We won't give you anything. Go away, go away. That is how I say like that in rap mode. So in that drama, at the ending, I was feeling like so shy. It was in the ending of the drama, I was feeling like so shy. And because the grasshoppers let them in, the ants let the grasshoppers in, and I felt very shy at the end of the drama. Even though I knew my dialogue before the practice was going on. So, and that was the end of the drama. At the end of the drama, the grasshoppers had to come together, and the ants, they had to be behind the grasshoppers. So, and I did this as a cheese, and even though I was seen because my headgear was the longest. And this was the end of my drama. Thank you, bye bye.